Okay, so I know that I'm not the only one who has crazy stories about like weird, funny, possibly creepy ways that guys have hit on me. So let's see. Also, I tend to lie just for fun in those situations. Like if I know that it's not someone I'm actually interested in, I'll just make things up. Like I'll give a fake name. I don't know, come up with all sorts of fake things about myself. I don't know why, it's just entertaining. So one time, let's see, this guy, how did this one start? This guy came up to my friend Colin and I and asked, I think he asked what type of car I drove. And so for some reason, I don't know why, I said, oh, I know why. So when we walked into the bar, there was a bright yellow Camaro right outside. And like it was like Bumblebee, like super obnoxious. So um, he asked what type of car I drove, and I said, "Oh, I drive a Camaro." And he's like, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yeah, it's yellow." And I said something about it was named Tweety. And he's like, "Oh, I drive a Camaro also." And I was like, "Oh, cool, bro." And then he asked something about the engine, and of course, I have no idea. I don't drive a Camaro. Well, at the time, I actually didn't even have a car. Now I have a Jeep Renegade. I love it. Probably couldn't tell you anything about the engine though. Not my thing. So, anyways, he asked something about the engine, and so I was like, I don't know. My dad bought it for me. You'd have to ask him, like being like some like snotty rich girl. Um, and then this guy like continued to tell us about his speedboat, and he kept saying, "My speedboat, my speedboat." And I was like, "Oh, like what do you do on your speedboat? Do you like?" Also, his name is Claudio, and he was a solid 30 years older. So props to him for hitting on a couple of spring chickens, such as myself and Colin. But he kept talking about a speedboat, and I was like, "Oh, do you like wakeboard? Do you wake surf? Like, what do you do on your speedboat? Do you just like speed around?" And he's like, "Oh yes, we just." Now it sounds like I'm making fun of somebody's accent. That's not what I'm trying to do. But he's like, "We just speed around on the boat," and I was like, "Oh, I mean that sounds fun, but like less fun than if you had actual like activities involved on your boat." And then he was asking what we do for work, and Colin told the truth about herself, which is that she was a barn manager. But then for some reason, we decided that um, I didn't really need to work because I just lived off my dad's money. But then also that I was a professional rock climber. No idea where that came from. And then we were talking about my professional rock climbing career, and it was actually like a really fun conversation. But like I have to wonder how many times people are just blatantly lying to me. Like if I'm talking to a guy and asking him what he does and whatever, like is he telling me the truth, or is he weird like me and just like coming up with some strange story? I don't know. Cheers to you, Claudio.